Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For anybody who's joining us live, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I'm just getting set up on the Instagram, so inshallah we'll get started then, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So just give me a few moments, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. I haven't done a live session in a little while, so inshallah, a little bit excited and nervous. It's a very, very heavy topic as well. So inshallah, hopefully we'll be able to do justice to it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and we could move on from there, inshallah. Okay. Let's see. I actually don't even have a stand. So, yikes. You know what? Okay. Subhanallah. I know the Instagram is not going to be proper as of right now. It'll be sideways, inshallah. But we'll just get started on that as well, inshallah. Okay. Everything is not set up properly. Like I said, I haven't done a live session in a very long time, and inshallah, we're going to be talking about a very, very important topic. You guys have to excuse me for the people who are live on Instagram, inshallah. I'll just have it sideways like this, inshallah. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it, as well as those who are live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Instagram, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We're just going to be spending the next few minutes talking about a very important topic. I don't know if you guys on Instagram can actually see the title. Let me see here. I don't even know where to put the title on Instagram, so I'll just put it in the comment, inshallah. So you guys can actually see what this live session will be about, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And then we'll just pick it up from there, inshallah. If you guys are in the live session, if you're subscribed, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are, jazakumullahu khair. And let's see. And whoever's watching on the live sessions, just leave your comments below on which city and or state you're from, and inshallah I'll give you guys a quick shout out. And then we'll continue on from there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see if there's any brave souls who dare to leave a comment on the first live session and probably forever, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And then we'll just kind of build on from there, bi'idhnillah. Yikes. Okay, I see one like. Jazakumullahu khair for those who press like. Really, really appreciate your love and support. And inshallah, we'll get started fairly shortly. And then we'll go on from there. Jazakallahu khair, Nim'a, for that. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Let's see. I did a lot of, I haven't done a live session in a little while. Like I said, I'm a little bit excited and nervous at the same time. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And I've been thinking about the topic to start off on. And I haven't seen anything more important than faith. So inshallah, that's what we're going to be talking about, and I'll tell you the story behind the reason why I chose that particular topic, and then inshallah we'll kind of go from there. If you guys just give me one moment, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties on one of the platforms, so let me see if I can get that up and running. If not, then I'll just move on from there. In the meantime, leave the city and or state that you're from, so I can give you a quick shout out, and I'll be able to see that you're watching bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and then we'll be able to go from there inshallah. Okay. I wish there was like big screens that I could look off of, but inshallah this will do for right now. I see another like, couple other likes, so I appreciate the love and support bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see. Okay, inshallah we'll just get started in just a few more minutes. I think that'll just give a little bit more time to other people who are interested in joining as well to join us bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I see all the love and support. Jazakumullahu khair. Yikes. Okay, looks like this other platform will be a lost cause, so we'll just chalk it up as that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And then we'll get started, inshallah. If there's any, general questions or specific questions that I could particularly answer, you guys could feel free to leave it in the comments below or ask it in the comments below. And if I know it, I'll do the best that I can to answer it. And if I don't, inshallah, then I'll get back to you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Inshallah, this is a very, very important topic, from the leaders to the followers and anybody in between and or around that. So it's going to be very, very important to pay very close attention, to take as much as you possibly can, and to utilize as much as you possibly can, and to share it with other people as much as you possibly can, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And inshallah we'll start off properly. First and foremost, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To all of you who are on the live sessions, I really, really appreciate your love and support. Verily, all praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, owner, and sustainer, the one who is worthy of all worship without any associates or intermediaries. And may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon the most esteemed leader and most honorable teacher, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow him until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. I welcome you all to the Ridwanullah TV live session with yours truly. I'm your host, Money and Life Maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, working to help you completely maximize your money and life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And inshallah, in today's live session, what we're going to be talking about is faith, the F word, I should have said. And if some of you guys have already guessed it, already know about it, it's your faith. There is nothing more valuable to you in your life than your faith. And I submit to you and myself that we should pay very, very close attention to that matter, continuously assess it, see where we would like it to be, and also where it is right now. And be appreciative to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever level of faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with in this particular moment in our lives, and to be able to work towards and work for and be inspired and motivated to take action to achieve the other levels of goals and dreams that we have. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And to take a step back, what prompted this particular topic is because a friend of mine reached out to me about another friend of mine who finds themselves in a particular tough situation in terms of questioning their faith, questioning their situation. And I feel like this is actually the second time and the second person that I'm particularly aware of, that I was notified of, to figure out a solution and work towards that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And this is the situation that we find ourselves in. And I hope that this is, very few and far in between. But this is the reality and the situation that we find ourselves dealing with and struggling with. It is the F word. And if you haven't been watching, or you're just joining us, it is your faith. It is a part of your deen, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. It is your connection and your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when your faith and your iman goes down, that in itself is not an issue, simply because it is a part of life. It is a part of reality. We learn from our deen that our iman goes up and down. That is the belief of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and the people who follow the Quran and the Sunnah the proper way, with the proper understanding from the Quran and the Sunnah, as well as the scholars and the pious predecessors that we follow, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So we really, really have to pay very close attention to this subject matter, and pay very, very close attention to our faith, our deen. And, for me, I was kind of struggling with this particular topic, because I go through, problems and challenges in my faith as well, to certain capacities and to certain extremes. Some people are in the verge of, disbelief, and some people have weak belief, and some people have high belief, have high iman and taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And, and in that spectrum of having the highest level of faith to having the lowest level of faith, and or losing your faith completely, there's something to learn from that. There's something to gain from that. And as long as you are breathing, as long as you are living, as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the permission to breathe another day, to live another day, to breathe another breath, and to live another moment, we can correct our ways. No matter how much we have gone astray, no matter how much we are far away from the path that is directing us to the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter how far we have come, no matter how far we are, and no matter how far we can get, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as long as we are breathing, as long as we have life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the opportunity to correct our ways. And I'm not here to judge anybody, to be quite honest with you. As I said, I struggle with this myself as well. Not as much as certain people, and I'm not as good as certain people as well. So this is a judge-free zone. This is just to share some information, to share some level of benefit that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me to benefit from it, and bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, in hopes that you benefit from it as well. So if you find yourself questioning your faith, if you find yourself in a tough situation for one reason or the other, and you are asking yourself, how can I overcome this situation where I'm questioning my faith? I'm questioning all of these things. There's a couple of things that I would like to share with you, a couple of stories, a couple of experiences, and I don't want to take too long, but I just want to share just a few things, a few pointers that will help me and you, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, overcome whenever we are struggling with our faith, whenever we are experiencing some things, and we're going through some things, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And if anything that I'm saying so far makes any sense, please press the like button and leave your comments below on anything that you are thinking about, so I can know that we are engaging with each other, and that'll be hopefully a productive thing for us moving forward, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So one thing that I will say is, in this day and age where we have social media, where we have distractions from every area of life, where we have pain, problems, and challenges from all areas of our lives, in terms of our money and wealth, our deen and self, in terms of our family and relatives, in terms of our ummah and world, and the reality that we find ourselves in, we really have to pay very, very close attention to our reality, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And we have to continuously work towards overcoming these painful faith inner conflicts and faith crisis, if we would like to call it. And it's not an abnormal thing in this day and age with the reality of social media and the rising of mental health and mental disorders and everything else that you could imagine that has to do with people being extremely overwhelmed with all sorts of areas of their lives. It's a reality that we have to face. It is a reality that we have to address. And anybody who is going after any particular goal or dream or whatever they're going through or whatever they're growing through, I guarantee you there's nothing more important to you than your faith. And I'll give you a few reasons, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Number one, your faith will stick with you not only in this life, but more importantly in the akhirah. So if you lose faith in this dunya, can you imagine what the reality of your existence will be in the akhirah? And I know some people are not even in a situation because they're questioning their faith to understand and grasp the akhirah. But just realize the pain that you're going through when your faith is weak. And when I say faith, I'm not just talking about faith in general. I'm talking about faith specifically in your deen, and more specifically in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And furthermore, faith in general, right? Different faith in your life, like different motivations, believing in yourself, and all of the other things that the motivational speakers talk to us about. And that's a separate topic, and then we could deal with that in a different situation. But the thing that got me so upset and so inspired and motivated to share this message with you guys is the simple fact that is the faith that we have in our deen, and more importantly, the faith that we have in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is one of the same thing. And I would like to say that we have to focus on our faith within our deen and within Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the focus of this particular subject, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And your faith will travel with you into the akhirah. So it's better to correct it now while you have the time, because when your life is over, there's no time for correction. There's no time for adjusting and adapting anything. It is the here and the now for us to be able to correct that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And we will be able to do that and have that opportunity. Now, one thing that I've seen whenever somebody's going through a faith crisis, a faith situation where their iman is weak, and mind you, whenever you read the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consistently and persistently throughout the Quran mentions amanu, belief, right? Inna alladhina amanu. Those who believe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses those who believe in multiple ways, in multiple fashions, in multiple situations. And the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continuously talks about the point of faith and the point of belief is the simple fact that it speaks to the importance of how important it is. It is extremely important. It's, as the scholars have already mentioned to us, that is more important to us than the food that we eat. It is more important to us than the family and everybody else that you're thinking about and everybody else that we're talking about in all areas of your life. So pay very, very close attention to your deen and rectify it before it is rectified for you. And I realized the point that I was trying to make is that I realized the individuals who are having issues with their faith in one way or the other, at one time or the other, are the individuals who have, number one, drifted far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala due to their own sins and transgressions. And I don't want to put blame on you, but we have to take responsibility, right? We have to say that the situation that I find myself in, it is simply because of my own doing, right? We cannot have the victim's mentality anymore. We cannot point the fingers to other people and say it is this person's fault or that person's fault or anybody else. We have to keep that in mind, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I hear a little bit of bells, so shout out to Hanan. Assalamu alaikum. I see you. And everybody else who's watching across the platforms, to those who I'm seeing and those who I'm not seeing commenting. So I really, really appreciate everybody's love and support. So keep that in mind, that you have to take responsibility. You have to be, it is almost like reclaiming your power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. So instead of blaming other people for the predicament and the situation that you find yourself in. And sadly, some people are blaming Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the predicament that they find themselves in, not knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stopping or withholding a certain blessing because it'll destroy them at that particular moment, and will be able to give it to them in the proper time, in the proper way. And believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not neglecting you, but serving you and withholding certain blessings and still giving you blessings in abundance in certain ways that you have to be grateful. You have to take ownership of whatever wrong is going on in your life. And it might not be your fault, and that's perfectly fine, but it is your responsibility to correct it and put it into rectification bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So whenever you're having challenges in your faith, please make sure bi'idhnillahi ta'ala that you take ownership, and please make sure that you, first and foremost, before ownership, before all of these things, there's somebody that you should ask help for. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, kind of just gave it away there, but you guys know what I'm trying to get to. And there's a particular time in my life when I was dealing with certain situations and certain things that I was asking myself, who should I ask help from, and how should I do that? And the thing that I'm going to tell you right now, whether your faith is weak or not, and whether you have beef with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not, or other people or not, first and foremost, you should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help before any other human being, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who can get you out of your predicament, get you out of your misery, and get you into happiness and bliss and success in this dunya as well as the akhirah bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And secondly, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. And if it gets to a situation where you have to call somebody else and talk to somebody who's close to you and ask them for whatever constructive feedback that they can give you or some remedies that they can give you, do that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And if you find yourself in a situation where your faith is weak, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, seek assistance in sabr and salah, your patience and your salah. So be patient with your circumstances, be patient with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be patient with yourself, and be patient with everybody else bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So patience is going to be another form of sustenance and another form of help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, another form of being able to step out of your misery bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, whatever level that is. And nobody can judge you because you know yourself best, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows better, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. So make sure that you are patient with your circumstances, and also seek your assistance in your salah. Make sure, I guarantee you, whoever is having faith issues, they haven't prayed their salah on time or consistently prayed their salah, if at all, right? Whenever you're questioning your faith, you are in the clutches of shaitan. You are in the clutches of the outcast shaitan, the devil. So the best way to get away from that is to make wudu, to seek istighfar. Making the wudu and getting yourself pure bi'idhnillahi ta'ala will start blocking away the evil and the reality of the circumstances that you find yourself in. And it's going to be extremely important to, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says seek help in salah, before salah is the wudu, right? True or false? And the wudu in itself repels shaitan, who's whispering in your ear into continuously pushing you to question your faith, to question certain things that shouldn't be questioned. And to be honest with you, it'll happen every now and then, but we have to face it. And once we make wudu, the shaitan has less power over us, and we can think clearly, and we have our spirituality, and our spirit becomes a little bit uplifted, and our mind will be a little bit more clear, and we'll have a little bit more focus bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And the more you continuously make wudu and pray, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continuously work on expanding your situation and your reality, and everything else will start improving on from there. and stop doing the sins and transgressions, whatever it may be for you, whether it's listening to music, using social media in the inappropriate way, engaging in haram relationships, leaving your hijab, whatever it may be, whatever you're doing, knowingly or unknowingly, willingly or unwillingly, figure out a way to get yourself back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before you are returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before you are returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because guaranteed, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, you will be returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the wise return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before they are returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So keep that in mind, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So seeking assistance in your salah is going to be extremely, extremely important. And I'm giving some points of a few solutions that I found myself, in hopes that we find, and I'm desperately trying to help someone out there in a particular moment that they find themselves in. And inshallah, if you start implementing this, if you start finding yourself, start gaining closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, God willing, inshallah, you will find happiness again, right? Because whenever you go farther away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you don't have enough of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what will actually happen is your happiness will start to be robbed of you. You will decrease in your happiness. You will increase in your misery, simply because you are getting away and farther away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. True or false? That's the truth that I found in my own life. The closer I am to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the more that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with me by me obeying His commands and continuously working for His pleasure, I find inner happiness, I find contentment and joy. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And I guarantee that you do as well. But when you are far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're in the clutches of shaitan, and he was whispering in your ears, in your soul, and is letting a lot of different confusions and conflicts, and so many things are going on in your mind, and you're questioning life, and you're questioning your deen, and you're questioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happens in that moment? As you are getting farther away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is decreasing, the reality of your circumstances is the simple fact that your happiness will decrease until you slip into a state of misery, to a point where you'll probably even get into a complete misery, and you're probably going to be contemplating taking your own life and or someone else. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that. So we have to continuously work towards stop getting farther away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not getting the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to reversing that and flipping that to gaining closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and achieving the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I've seen from people in the masjid to people who are far away from the masjid, and anybody else in between, have some level of problems and challenges with their faith. And I'm not going to say it's normal, but it's a part of reality. We have to continuously work towards improving being, right? And don't take, another thing that I would tell people who are struggling with their faith, especially as Muslims, is that whenever you see someone on social media and they seem to be having the time of their life, don't believe that. Maybe 10% of that translates into reality to be true. More like 90% of the people who are traveling to exotic locations and flashing their money in their cars, and their significant other and partners or whatever, in reality, they're not as happy as they portray to be. And that's exactly only what they're doing, is they're portraying to be happy on social media. And in reality, we start to become ungrateful. We start to have these anxieties and unhappiness and everything else. So stop comparing yourself to other people. And we all do this on certain levels, whether that's consciously or unconsciously. Break yourself away from comparing yourself to other people. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that's a message for myself more so than you, because I know I do it, and I know everybody here that's watching does it, especially those who are having a hard time with their faith. So turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before you are returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I want to encourage the faith leaders in our communities, the individuals who are, entrepreneurs, investors, organization leaders, just leaders in general, mothers and fathers, anybody who has any level of influence to any capacity, I plead with you to prioritize your faith, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, first and foremost, as I prioritize my faith, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And secondly, to prioritize the faith of the people around you, because if their faith is strong, nothing can break them. But if their faith is weak, everything can destroy them, from the littlest thing to the biggest thing. If you are a student, if you are an employee, an entrepreneur, an Islamic leader, an investor, whatever endeavors, whatever capacity that you have, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, as you work towards all of these different goals and dreams in all different areas of your life and work and everything else that you could imagine, prioritize your faith above all, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, because that will not only serve you in this dunya, but inshallah, and more importantly, it'll serve you in the akhirah. I hope that you found some level of inspiration and motivation and some levels of solution through this live session, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I hope to get some sort of constructive feedback from you guys. And I wanted to tell exactly what I wanted to tell one of my brothers, that inshallah, I'm going to tell one of my brothers who's having a faith crisis, as we all do at certain times, to, understand that this is normal. Understand that, it happens in different phases and different seasons, and to seek, help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And anybody else that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows to help you, continuously work towards that. Make sure that you seek help in sabr and salah, just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, continuously be patient. Things will not always be as bad as they are right now. Work towards being, having a good life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and finding some halal sustenance, and halal sustenance and life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And continuously pray. Get back to praying your 5 times a day. And if you're a little bit wobbly in your salah, pray on time, pray strongly, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And all of these different things, and the few things that I've said, connect with the scholars, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, locally, and talk to them, the good brothers that remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and stay away from the people who don't remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's continuously pulling you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there's a lot to say about that topic as well, that you should befriend, just like Imam Dr. Ziyad, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon him and be pleased with him, is always reminding us of how important, our friendships are, that we have to watch our friendship. We have to watch our inner circle. And I guarantee you, nothing has changed my sustenance and life more so than, watching my network, watching my inner circle. There's a few rotten apples in your inner circle, and if you can't find them, I guarantee you it's you. So you have to correct yourself and be a great role model, not only for yourself, but everybody around you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Inshallah, I hope that something that I said was very valuable to you, as I was continuously working on doing that for you guys, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm trying to deliver as much value as I possibly can. And one of the things that got me a little bit fed up and fired up is the faith crisis that we find ourselves in, whether it's minor or major, whatever it may be, work towards that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I truly appreciate your love and support. Press the like button, subscribe, leave your comments, and share it with somebody who could use this message. I'm pretty sure I've only covered the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to it. Talk to the local scholars, the people of knowledge that are around you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and they'll be able to help you a lot more than I could possibly imagine. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I was talking to a loved one of mine, and I was telling them, somebody that is close to me, a friend of mine, is having a faith crisis. What should I do to help them? And my loved one said, the first thing that you should do is make dua for them. So I make dua for you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cures you, because I know this is not a simple matter. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cure me and everybody around. Everybody's going through some level of struggle, internally, externally, in this dunya and or in the akhirah. We should continuously help each other and support each other, not tear each other down. Work towards building each other and helping each other grow. I hope that you could do that for me as I'm hoping and working to do that for you. If you guys like and want to see more live sessions from me, I'll be willing to do more on different topics. Just let me know what you guys would like for me to cover on, and we'll move on from there. I got to get going here shortly. And if anybody has any particular questions, general questions that I can answer, I'll be able to answer for you if I know the answer. If I don't, then I'll get back to you and or ask the local scholars is what I will let you guys know, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, or somebody who has knowledge of that particular subject matter. For me, I like to focus on sustenance and life. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And I know the live session is a little bit upside down here on Instagram. So let's see. I need to get some level of a stand, inshallah. I think that's a little bit better on Instagram. Let me check on YouTube first. So I like to focus on YouTube first, Facebook second, and then Instagram third. So just kind of how I'm prioritizing things right now, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So let's see if there's anybody on YouTube that has any particular comments and or questions. I don't see anything there. Let me check Facebook, inshallah. Nothing on the Ridwanullah organization channel. So I have, Ridwanullah organization channels as well as my personal page, which is just Hussein Mohamud. I'm pretty sure you guys are watching it in one or the other. I would love for you guys just to support and subscribe and press the like button to help me build these channels and platforms, and channels, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let's see. I think there's a couple of comments on my personal Facebook page. Shout out again to Nimra. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with you. So that's all I see as of right now on that. Let me check Instagram. I can't even see nothing here. Okay. Kept hearing some beeps on Instagram, but no comments there. No problem, inshallah. So that is pretty much it. I just wanted to let you guys know as well, even though this is a very, very important topic, and this is just out of the blue, and it's something that's very, very important in terms of what I'm trying to and hoping to accomplish, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I also have, a business online, which is called Ridwanullah Organization. You guys could go to ridwanullah.com. It's under construction, but you guys will be able to get a lot of information there. And also, I send some emails, so you guys can join the email list by just sending an email to ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. And you guys could catch us on the social media platforms, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. YouTube is the main platform. Facebook is second. And also Instagram. Trying to post a lot of things there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And also trying to help people combat their faith and everything else. I'm trying to develop courses and programs that can help you guys. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. And inshallah, you guys will be able to support that. As of right now, the main program that I'm doing on Sundays is the Ridwanullah, actually the Life Maximization Program. It's called the Life Maximization University. You guys will be able to find the link on ridwanullah.com, and you'll be able to see a tab for the courses and programs. If you guys cannot see it there, I'll try to put the link in the description below. This is $30 per month program that you guys can join and take full advantage of, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, to help support me as I'm continuously doing, free stuff for our ummah to benefit from. And, I'm trying to offer some paid stuff as well, so I could, build a business around that and, try to do bigger and better things with my work and life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Really, really appreciate your love and support, everybody. Jazakumullahu khair. I'm checking out. My challenge to you is to work on realizing where your faith is and continuously work on improving that. Show your love and support as well. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family, for tuning into another episode of Ridwanullah TV Live. I'm your host, Money and Life Maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, checking out by saying, never ever give up on completely maximizing your money and life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.